Design, create, inspire. Welcome to KFX Fashion Atelier, where digital fashion goes from concept to runway. Every great digital garment begins with a workflow. Today, we're stepping behind the scenes to cover tools that can help streamline your productivity and pipeline. Let's get into it. So today's video is going to be about a tool that I created specifically for importing characters from character creator to iClone, or character creator and iClone to Houdini, because I am a Houdini user, and I do like rendering in Redshift and Houdini. So the tool we're talking about, it's called the character creator import tool, and what it does, it reads from a JSON file and it will import your character and create the textures for you. So you have your selection here, your materials. Do you want to create Karma, or do you want to create Redshift, or Redshift for Solaris? If you don't have Redshift for Solaris, you won't see these options. But this assumes that you're working off of Houdini defaults in the first place. So Karma will always be available. So you search for your JSON file. In this case, I'm using Ariana, which is what gets created when you export from character creator or iClone. You would go to that JSON file that gets created. Don't change anything. Don't change the names. Don't change anything in the files. Keep everything at default. A couple other things as well that I want to touch up on when you're exporting. There are a couple options. We'll cover this right here, and that is there's a couple options you want to have unchecked. You want to uncheck delete hidden faces, and you want to uncheck embed textures. If you check delete hidden faces and you have expressions on your characters, then this will mess up your expressions on the model itself. You're going to see vertices just popping everywhere. And if you don't uncheck embed textures, it won't put the file paths in the JSON file, and that will mess up the textures in the material library or the material network, and you're going to have to fix it manually if that happens, or re-export from character creator or iClone. So make sure you have these two options unchecked. And the one last thing that I want to touch upon as far as textures go is that you're going to from time to time see textures that are going to be inverted, or they're going to be flipped in the U or the V, or maybe even both. This isn't a problem with how the tool is importing. All it's doing is just linking to the maps. It's actually, you can actually verify this in character creator and iClone, whether the texture is flipped or not. You're going to see UVs one way, but you're going to see a textures the other way. It's definitely, like I said, it's not a problem with Houdini or the tool. It's just the way the textures are created and exported. When you're exporting from character creator or iClone, I would recommend using the Blender option. What you would do now, feed it the JSON file, select your renderer, and you would hit import from CC. You have a couple options here: model only, model and textures, or textures only. In this case, since I already imported the model, I don't have to re-import it anymore. I can just select texture only. If I do want to import a different character, which I can do, then I would do model and textures and point it to a different JSON file. The only catch is if you import a different character, for right now, it will create a different material network, and you would have to delete the old one manually. I'm going to put in a fix for that, but right now it's not such a huge deal. You would just manually delete what you don't need. Now, not all maps are going to be hooked up. As I'm trying to figure out how they are used. I have a ticket open with Reillusion right now to help me figure this out. But I can tell you that once I figure this out, you'll see all the textures hooked up. Now in this case, if you want to switch to Karma, we'll just switch to Karma here just to show you what happens. So I'm going to switch to Karma here, import, and since, hold on, import textures only. And you'll see it'll take a few minutes for it to switch over. All right, and we're back, and as you can see, from the character here, it switched over, and you can see a LOPNet was created. The material network has been deleted. That will work correctly there, because it's feeding off the original name of the character. So, and from there you can just render out Karma as you normally would. When you go into the material network or the LOPNet, you can see everything is created for you. I'm going to show this on Redshift here. I'm going to switch it back over. Now there is a reason why Karma takes so long. It's because certain things, because there's no direct way that I can, for right now, that I can tell to create a Karma material builder. So I have to create a subnet and then set certain flags, and then it will create the material builder for me. So that's why Karma does take so long, because by design there's no way around that. I'm sure there's an answer out there. I'll have to ask side effects that question if there's like a command or a Python command for it. But right now, it is what it is. And as you can see, switching to Redshift was pretty quick, and it recreated my material network for me. And so, let's see. Yep, I got all these set up, and I'm going to go ahead and render this out in Redshift here for you, so you can see what it looks like. All right, and we're back, and that rendered out pretty quickly. And as you can see, this looks pretty good. So not many tweaks I would have to do to this to make it even better. But as with anything, there's always going to be a tweak or two you're going to have to do. Nothing is ever perfect. So you may have to tweak some of the hair textures. You may have to tweak maybe the subsurface scattering, or maybe a texture for the clothing. I mean, there's always going to be something to just tweak. But as you can tell, all the textures are in place, and this looks really good. So there you have it. There are plans to incorporate other rendering engines. The next two on my list are going to be Arnold and Octane. I want to put those in there, because there are people that are asking for that. But right now, it's Karma and Redshift, because that's what I have. Karma is always going to be included. If you don't have Redshift, you won't see the Redshift options. It's just as simple as that. But just to demonstrate, that this will create Redshift textures for Solaris, and it will do it rather quickly. And all it will do, if you're doing Karma in Solaris to Redshift in Solaris, it's just going to switch out a couple of nodes, and that's it. But otherwise, if you're going from a material library to a LOPNet, it's going to recreate everything. All right, and we're back. And that did create the Redshift textures pretty quickly there. As you can see, we have all this. Now, this one created Redshift USD material builders, because the regular Redshift material builders are not available in the LOPNet. I'm sure there's a specific reason for that. But once the material builder is created, then all the standard Redshift nodes will be in there as it would a regular material builder. And it creates the light for you. Let's see. Yeah, you can. There are Redshift sun. There is a Redshift sun and sky that you can use. I'm just keeping the regular dome light in there. It'll create a camera and your Redshift render variables. So everything gets created for you. So you don't have to worry about manually creating a lot of this stuff. But like I said, there are going to be tweaks you're going to want to do to get things to look the way that you want it, especially if you want to match what's in Character Creator or iClone. The links to the tool the link to the tool will be down in the description. It'll be on Gumroad, and also be mindful of which license you have for Houdini. If you have the full commercial version of Houdini FX, or even Houdini Core, then when you start using this tool, it's going to switch it over to Indie, because this tool is created for Houdini Indie, and because I don't have a full commercial license for Houdini. That'll come down the road, and then I'll start getting these files converted. But for right now, be mindful of which license you have for Houdini. If you have a paid license for Houdini FX, then Side Effects will do a one-time conversion for you, so that way you can use the tool. But otherwise, yeah, it's going to convert your session of Houdini to a different license. It's going to convert it to Indie. Same thing with if you have Apprentice. There's not an Apprentice version. I'm not sure exactly how an Indie HDA will handle an Apprentice. I think it'll open up. It will go down if you use it in a different version. So yeah, the link to that will be in the description. It'll be on Gumroad. The current price is $49, and nothing extra for, like, if you have Redshift. There's nothing, you don't have to pay anything extra to have the Redshift. It'll just be there. Same thing when I update it for Arnold and Octane. It'll just be there when they're ready. So keep an eye out on that. And one extra tool that I want to point out here is my 3-point light tool. That is currently on Gumroad as well. There'll be a link to that to where you can get the tool. It's also for Houdini Indie as well. But the 3-point light tool is currently free. And I have no plans to, of course, charge for that. It's out there. It's out there to help you. And there is a video for the 3-point light tool. I got to take it off one of my other YouTube channel and put it on this one. So, but anyway, if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me for today. Thank you for joining me here at KFX Fashion Atelier. I hope today's project inspired you and gave you something new to take into your own creative work. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button on the video and subscribe to follow for future collections, tutorials, and behind-the-scenes projects. Until next time, design, create, inspire.